We've got the new Honda Jazz. Yes, all of you have been waiting for it. We have been waiting for it as well because it will possibly once again shake things up in this segment. It was the segment benchmark the last time around. Will the new generation deliver the same kind of standards? Bala drove the car in Goa to find out. The new Honda Jazz, here to conquer what the previous generation could not. Even though it created and set the segment benchmark for premium hatchbacks in India. Honda has understood the market much better now and has had experience of playing hardball in the mass segments. The company's crossfade monoform exterior for the Jazz, with new sporty elements, makes the car pretty appealing. Indeed, there are some design elements borrowed from the city, like the narrow headlights and front grille that blend into each other, but the mesh on the lower bumper looks incomplete, and the clear view it provides of the radiator could have easily been avoided. We love that extended belt line all across the side that runs clear through to the tail lights. At the rear, the spoiler is quite prominent and the car has a vertical stacked LED tail and stop lamp cluster, more Volvo-like than Honda really. The chrome strip accentuates the rear.
Looks quite nice in this sunset orange shade, doesn't it? But one thing you won't notice at first glance is that the overall dimensions of the car has changed, at least in terms of length. It's gone up by about 55 millimeters, and importantly, the wheelbase is up by about 30 millimeters. That means there's more space inside that cabin. Also, one of the things that you guys were concerned about is in terms of the ground clearance. That's improved marginally. That's because of a redesigned exhaust system. So it really will take those potholes and those large speed breakers pretty well. The seating position is still fairly low, but no worries. It kind of manages to do well with the large potholes and the speed breakers. So that worry should not be too much of a concern right now.
The Jazz has two engine options. The 1.2-litre petrol has been borrowed from the Brio, but has a slightly higher power output, though it is still tuned for efficiency. You can opt for either the 5-speed manual gearbox or a CVT with paddle shifters. We did spend most of our time with the diesel variant though, and so look out for a more detailed review on the petrol twins soon on CNB. The 1.5-litre i-DTEC diesel engine puts out exactly the same figures as the diesel cities because of course it is the same motor and also gets the same 6-speed manual.
So now the big question, does the 1.5-litre diesel engine on the new Jazz clatter as much as we saw it on the Honda Amaze? That was quite loud, wasn't it? And the answer is that it does feel extremely noisy inside the cabin. Now Honda claims that they have improved the NVH levels inside this cabin, but sadly though there is lots of engine noise that creeps into the cabin, especially when you rev hard. The noise really comes in. But otherwise you've got a nice smooth gearbox. The 6-speed manual transmission works really well and the steering feel is quite nice. It makes for a very pleasant driving experience except for that engine noise that comes into the cabin.
The new Jazz's suspension setup feels akin to the old cars, but there is improved stability and comfort. There's some amount of body roll that gets in as you take the car around wide corners at high speeds. The gear shift though feels quick and precise, and so wading through city traffic will be a breeze, also because the peak torque kicks in fairly low. The fuel efficiency numbers on the Jazz are impressive, with the diesel engine claiming 27.3 kilometers per litre. That's just 0.3 kilometers behind the newly launched Maruti Celerio diesel, making it one of India's most fuel-efficient cars. The petrol CVT delivers 19 kilometers per litre, while mileage claims on the manual are at 18.7 kilometers per litre. Also impressive for a car this size. Inside, the Jazz is spacious in a XXL way, and that really is the ultimate USP in this segment, isn't it? The wheelbase is longer than the old cars, and so space inside the cabin has improved quite a bit. We do like how the rear seats recline for that extra comfort, but that option only exists on the top-end model. The seats are fairly comfy, but we're not crazy about the black fabric.
So you have this little bump up in the middle section, which I'm not too sure works for me. But you can seat 3 adults comfortably because there's nice amount of shoulder room available. And if that doesn't impress you, let's go check out the boot. So nice big boot on offer here, 354 liters on offer. We've kind of packed it with some small bags here just to give you guys a sense of space. And if you fold those the second row seats, you get about 881 liters. And also interestingly, what they call the magic seats in Honda. There are 4 different modes in which way you can fold the seats depending on the size of your luggage. So space is clearly no concern for the new Jazz.
The dash is very similar to the City's, and the quality of the plastics also feels fairly similar. Beige and black interiors for the base and mid variants. All black for the top-end spec is how the Jazz will roll. The new 6.2-inch touchscreen with navigation is fairly easy to use, though it takes a little bit of getting used to. There is a really cool touch-sensitive auto AC panel on the top variants, again like the City's. What is missing, and very clearly so, a start-stop button, which you do get on the i20, Micra and the Swift. The new Jazz will be launched early next month, and pricing details will be revealed then. The car builds on the reputation of the earlier model in terms of practicality, space and efficiency, but it will boil down to how well Honda plays the pricing card really. The premium hatch segment has changed a lot since the car was first launched in 2009, and so the buyer too now is willing to pay more for more. Expect a possible souped-up 1.5-litre 110 bhp petrol Jazz with a sporty body kit sometime next year. So the new Jazz looks pretty promising. It is a nice roomy cabin. I think that's going to be the big USP. We don't have information on how many variants, what all the different variants will have. And of course, we don't know the prices yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But I do think that Honda will get fairly aggressive with the Jazz pricing. And what I have here is not the top spec, because remember, that's got all black interiors. Yet, I do have the touchscreen climate control system. I have dual airbags. And the beige seats are quite nice. I have to say, it looks pretty cool. There are 9 cup holders in this car, folks. Yes, if you have a very thirsty family, you'll be very happy with this car. 9 cup holders. Well, that's a very interesting USP for the guys at marketing in Honda to play with.